Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. Supreme Court today granted interim bail to Ashoka University professor Ali Khan Mahmudabad in the Haryana police FIR over his social media posts about Operation Sindoor. Now, he was arrested on May 18th and has been under custody ever since. Now, what has the court done today? Court has refused to stay the investigation. The court also directed the Haryana DGP to constitute within 24 hours a special investigation team which will comprise of senior IPS officers and who do not belong to Haryana or Delhi. Now, as far as the conditions of this interim bail are concerned, the court restrained Ali Khan Mahmudabad from writing any posts or articles in relation to the social media posts, which are a subject matter of the case, or from expressing any opinion in relation to the terrorist attack on Indian soil or the counter response given by India. The court also directed him to join and fully cooperate with the investigation, and he has been directed to surrender his passport. Now, when the hearing was on, there were certain comments by Justice Surikant which have forced people to think whether today's interim bail of Mahmudabad was a half-baked victory. Now, just to give you a few examples of what Justice Surikant said, and just a few slices of what he said during the argument that everybody has a right to express free speech, but is it the time to talk of this much communal? The country has faced a big challenge. Monsters came all the way and attacked our innocence. We were staying united, but at this juncture, why to gain cheap popularity on this occasion? So he said that probably Mahmudabad was trying to get cheap popularity by writing a post like this. Then he goes on to say that everybody talks about rights as if the country for last 75 years was distributing rights. Now, this is something which again has been considered as an outstanding remark. And why did the courts go into that kind of a detail? Then some more comments like Justice Kant said that this is what we call in the law dog whistling. Some of the opinions are not offending to the nation as such, but while giving an opinion, when the choice of words is deliberately made to insult, humiliate, or cause discomfort to other persons, the learned professor cannot have the lack of dictionary words. And then he goes on to say that he could convey the very same feelings in a simple language without hurting others. Have some respect for the sentiments of others. Use simple and neutral kind of language. So these are few things which Justice Khan said. And apart from that, he also said that the entire projection is that he is anti-war, saying families of army people, civilian in border areas, etc. suffer. But some words have double meanings. So we'll try and decode the Supreme Court order on Mahmudabad, the interim bail which he has got. Is it a big relief? Of course, yes, in the real sense that he can go back to his family, he walks out of the jail. But in the long run, what kind of an impact will this order have on the larger society? Joining me this evening is veteran Supreme Court lawyer, constitutional expert, Sanjay Hegde. So thank you so much for joining. And your first thoughts at this order today, because many feel that, of course, it's an immediate relief for Mahmudabad, but what does it do to the society as a whole in the long run?
Well, I don't claim to be a sociologist. And you're right that as far as Mahmudabad is concerned, there is immediate relief. I don't think that the court was trying to send any message today. The court has done exactly what it has done in two earlier cases. One was with regard to Ranveer Allahabadiya, and the other was with regard to the MP Minister, Mr. Shah. In Mr. Shah's case, the Madhya Pradesh High Court had taken suo motu cognizance. He ordered the filing of an FIR, and the same bench had protected him from arrest, but had constituted an SIT to go into everything that he had stated. In Mahmudabad's case, because he had already been arrested, the court has released him to facilitate arrest. Yes, many people may be disappointed, but after all, this is an interim order. The case is still going on. And as far as the ultimate judgment, it is only time that will tell. There were people who probably thought that on day one everything would collapse. That has not happened.
Mr. Hegde, many people feel that Supreme Court could have summarily dismissed the entire case, could have sent out a stern message to the Women's Commission, and also fined the police who didn't seem to actually have done their duty properly. That also was one option with the court, but the court didn't choose to do that. But the court went in to form an SIT. They refused to put a stay on the investigation. Was that really correct legally?
See, all those things that you think of could have only been done after hearing the other side. If the court had had to say things about the other side, then it would have had to issue notice, wait for their response, then have had a hearing. In the meanwhile, what was to be done as far as Mr. Mahmudabad was concerned? So, in fact, the Additional Solicitor General was seeking an adjournment for a few days, and an adjournment of the case with Mr. Mahmudabad continuing to remain in prison was not necessarily a happy outcome. So, what the court has done is to express what it prima facie thinks about the case. Maybe those will be expanded on by the SIT, by those who will defend the Haryana government. Just like the court thinks that Mr. Mahmudabad's comments could have been better worded, some of us may feel that the court's expressions could also have been better worded. But you see, it is ultimately the effect of what you say or what you write which counts. The effect of the court's order today is that Mahmudabad will shortly be free. The effect of Mr. Mahmudabad's writing was not necessarily anything beyond causing some over-enthusiastic little state functionaries to take a dim view of things to the extent of filing a criminal complaint. The question really to be asked is that, okay, there was a criminal complaint. Could you not have investigated it without an arrest? That, I hope, is a question which is asked soon.
So you think that the court will get into the criminality aspect, that where is the criminality in his social media post, which apparently the court will look into in the coming days?
It can look into the coming days if the matter proceeds further. The court has now said that a special investigation team, which does not have people from Haryana, does not have people from Delhi, will look at matters afresh. Now, supposing the SIT comes back and says exactly what we think it should say, that no, there was no criminal intent whatsoever, that no case is made out. Based on that, the court can take action. If, on the other hand, the SIT were to say that according to us, these things form the ingredients of an offence under the Samhita, then the court may question that finding also. I think they're running a bit ahead of the game. There are in this day and time where there is live tweeting, where videos of the courtroom hearing go viral immediately, people might have their own judgments of things. Let us wait for the game to play out.
But what I'm worried, sir, is, and you may correct me if I'm wrong, that if you look at the interim order today, which has come in, of course, it's an immediate relief for Mahmudabad, but it doesn't leave a very happy situation for the activists, for many people who express themselves freely. It almost looks like a gag order, that mind your words before you write anything, watch out your words before you say anything. So does the court imply that in the coming days, or maybe in times of conflict like these, when a sensitive situation arises, which arose on 7th and 8th of May this year, so especially in those times, you've got to watch yourself, for what you speak, for what you write, how you say it, and be don't attach too much of importance to your creative freedom. Just be very bland. Is that the message which the court sent out today? Mr. Hegde, can you hear me? Mr. Hegde, can you hear me? I think there's some problem with the internet. Mr. Hegde, can you hear me? I'll just try calling him now. 1 second. I'll just call him. Yeah, I think he's got disconnected, so we'll try and just connect to him. But the Supreme Court lawyer Sanjay Hegde was speaking to us, so we'll try and just reconnect. And I'll just give you a lowdown of what has happened in the court today. Justice Surikant, he said that the learned professor could have chosen the words carefully without hurting others. And yes, Mr. Hegde is back. So you got disconnected. So my question to you was that is the larger import of today's interim order that watch out your words, watch yourself before you speak or write anything, especially in sensitive times like these?
Absolutely. And I sometimes wonder whether all times are sensitive in this country. There will always be, if not war, there will be so many times where there are disasters and whatnot. So the question is, should we at all times be minding our words? Should we be self-censoring, as it were? And have we succumbed to the heckler's veto being weaponized through criminal proceedings? Anything that you say could possibly be clipped out of context, and then some commission of women, some commission of children, some commission somewhere issues a summons. They really have no powers of directly jailing you. So then they end up going to a police station and filing an FIR. This is not good for the country. We have, as it is, enough people who use the extra legal procedure to silence people. Today we have had, just today we have had the announcement of a Booker Prize for a Kannada author. And from her own community, there were people who sought to silence her writings at some point of time. We had Perumal Murugan's case from Tamil Nadu, where again his writings ran into trouble. And courts have had to come to their rescue. But again, the comments today seem to indicate that there is some kind of speech which we will come to the rescue of, and there is some kind of speech which we will not come to the rescue of. To which I have a simple point. Freedom of speech is required for unpopular speech. Popular speech requires no protection. It is very easy for me to say that the Prime Minister of India is the greatest ever, etc., 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 to praise. But if I should have the confidence to say in a public place, in a public square, that this particular action is wrong, it is wrong for X, Y, or Z reason. Or you can simply say that I do not like this leader or that leader.
But sir, certain statements of Justice Surikant really sound strange. And I'm particularly quoting the one which I had quoted earlier. And I want to ask you on this again, that he said that everybody talks about rights as if the country for last 75 years was distributing rights. Now, what does that sentence mean? I mean, what happens to Article 19(1)(a)? I mean, are the courts trying to tell you that, look, there is no provision like that, let's not talk about it, let's not think about it? And it seems as if rights are a dole now. You should be thankful to yourself if you have a certain right, so measure yourself when you talk about rights. Is that the message which Justice Surikant is trying to say or give
Well,
out?
it was not this judge alone. There have been other retired judges who, I think Justice Adarsh Goel, for instance, was at some convention which recently said that, it's only when you perform your duties that you are entitled to rights. I think there is a certain amount of fuzzy thinking on this topic. You either have a right or you don't have a right. And you have rights by the mere fact that you are born in India, that you are an Indian citizen, and that the Constitution of India grants all its citizens or recognizes that there are rights. And it is not as if those rights which the Constitution recognizes are rights which are a gift of the Constitution. That was an argument which was taken very many years ago during the emergency, that your right to life itself came out of the Constitution, and if it was suspended during an emergency, you had no right whatsoever. Unfortunately, the 4 judges of the Constitution bench of those days in ADM Jabalpur accepted that argument. And it was Justice H.R. Khanna who dissented and said that rights exist, dehorse even the Constitution, that there are certain inalienable rights. History has proved Justice Khanna right, and among those who wrote that judgment included Justice Y.B. Chandrachud, whose son D.Y. Chandrachud later overruled that judgment. So please let us not go down that road again, where you think that rights are there on sufferance. These are rights which are guaranteed by the Constitution, and it is the job of judges as sentinels on the qui vive to zealously enforce them.
No, but do you really feel that Mahmudabad's post was some kind of a dog whistle? Because Justice Surikant also mentioned the word dog whistle. And you must have gone through his post. Did you ever think that it was a dog whistle in some way?
A dog whistle is whistling at a particular frequency which only other dogs can hear. So very often on social media or on posts, you hear references to Vishesh Samudaya. Now that is a dog whistle. And there are certain other dog whistles which cannot be stated out in public, right? I don't think there was any dog whistle in this particular post. All that the post said was, yes, it was very nice to see a Muslim woman defend India, but it should not necessarily be only that display. It should translate on the ground. It should. You cannot lynch people for their religion, while at that same point of time having people of that religion as your spokespersons. Well, could he have said it in simpler language? Possibly. He could have simply said that lynching people for their religion is wrong. But then came the question, should you talk about lynching during the time when there is a battlefield crisis? Is there then an auspicious hour to talk about things like lynching?
You're saying that there is an auspicious hour to talk about lynching. Each time you say anything, whether it is COVID, whether it is, any occasion becomes sensitive, for a certain section of the society. So how does one calibrate themselves?
No, it is not any section of society. It is an administration that does not want to hear anything which brings down its self-esteem. and it has a
Right.
very huge self-esteem. And then there are minions of that administration who then seek to curry favor with their bosses by saying, oh, somebody was speaking like this, I've put that person in trouble.
In fact, Mr. Hegde, I was coming to that question of the role of the State Women Commission chairperson, Renu Bhatia. Now, this particular order kept quiet on the role, and I'm sure in the coming days, maybe the court will delve into that issue as well. But what do you say about the role of Renu Bhatia in this case, or for that matter, the BJP Yuva president who lodged the complaint? What would you really say to elements like these?
No, that's my real problem with the order and the proceedings today. It will have emboldened Ms. Bhatia or the BJP youth president or others of that ilk, that look, if you can get somebody into trouble, then you have achieved brownie points, which will no doubt go to your credit, and that maybe your, if you want an extension of a term, or if you want any of those things, that will be much easier to get. We as citizens cannot be put at the mercy of these little tin pot dictators running their little fiefdoms all over the country.
No, but do you think that the court will take courts when the case continues later? Are the courts going to take a stern view of these state women commissions, the way they behave, and especially in the case of Renu Bhatia, like what you said, that now many Renu Bhatias will get emboldened. Many people like those of that BJP Yuva president, Yuva Morcha leader who lodged a complaint, they will get emboldened. So what is it going to lead to, all this? I mean, maybe if I'm speaking something and if I'm working out of home, my next door neighbor doesn't like me, and if he's slightly well connected, he'll go lodge a complaint against me, and then I'll be nabbed, and then there's going to be an SIT formed against me. Is that what the society is going to become like?
I hope it doesn't, and I hope better sense prevails among the administration itself. But one or two messages from the courts to these overzealous characters, and things which have financial and social consequences should possibly follow. If the cost of this adventure, for instance, were to be recovered personally from the people, then maybe there would be a deterrence.
Absolutely. So my last question to you, Mr. Hegde, is that what is the biggest takeaway of today's interim order, apart from, of course, the immediate relief to Mahmudabad?
Well, the biggest takeaway is that citizens should be encouraged to speak and speak freely. But freedom of speech comes with a cost, and you can take no liberty for granted unless it is exercised and defended at all times.
But if I can ask you what you exactly said, that when is the auspicious time to speak freely?
You are asking a married man an inconvenient question.
All right. All right. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.